Hey guys, Epicenter Bryan here. Hey, today I'm going to change the oil on this Leybold pump. Now this pump I've been running for 3.5 years. For a little over 3 years I've been running 2 freeze dryers with this. My old black one over here and this white one. And for the last 4 months I added a 3rd freeze dryer. So I actually have 3 running off of this one pump. So anyway, we're going to change the oil filter. We're going to put a new one on here. You can see it's got the original one that's painted the same color as the pump. We're going to be changing the oil and take a look at that. And then we're also going to be changing out this exhaust filter. Now to replace this, there's a plate we have to take off, and so we're going to replace these gaskets in there as well. Okay, now once I'm all done, I'm going to send this oil and the old oil filter back to Leybold, and they're going to analyze the oil and see if it's still up to spec. And they're also going to cut open that filter and take a look and see if there's anything unusual in there, because I've run so many batches, I don't even know how many batches I've done. But a real torture test, 3.5 years, multiple freeze dryers. So anyway, I'm going to get this stuff disconnected so we can get in there and start the process. Let's take a quick look here at the sight glass, if you can see that. I think I've got a shot of this from 3 years ago, and this level is right in the normal area, and the color of the oil looks normal to me. That might be a little bit darker than it was originally, but not sure. We'll take a look. Okay, so I've got this going down to a bottle down here, and I'm just going to go ahead and open this valve and start the draining process. Alright, so that's about it for now. That'll take a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and take this mechanism off up here. And right here is a little filter that I'm going to pull out. I can't do this one-handed, but oh yeah, I can. That is just to catch anything really big, and there's nothing in it. So that's good news. Alright, well, we'll let it drain. It looks like we're just down to a trickle. And they say to get the very last oil out, you close this off, and then you run the pump for about 10 seconds, and then open this again to get the rust out. Now I put a cap on here on the inlet just so the pump is not as loud. It's loudest when, you know, this vacuum line is open. And so I'm going to go ahead and hook up some power, and then we'll take a look at that again. But that's what the oil looks like, and I don't see any water down here at all, which means this ballast valve has been working, doing its job the whole time, keeping moisture out of that pump. Pretty cool. Alright, well that is about it. Next up is the oil filter. So I just used an old school automotive filter wrench, and I already cracked this loose, so I can just do this by hand now. But that just comes right off. And I've got a drip pan underneath it here. Since I haven't done this, don't know if it's going to drip. Oh, it sure didn't. Okay, great. Well, that was easy. I just put a little oil on the O-ring seal on the new filter and tighten that up, and that's ready to go. Next up, we're going to replace the demister filter. The old filter is out. New one's ready to go in. And that's got a little bit of discoloration, not much. And inside of here, it is perfectly clean. So, well, I'm very happy about that. There's a little residual oil there where the float is. And then I'm going to go ahead and replace this seal here. So, we'll get that all situated and put back together. Boy, that is one clean machine in there. To get that last bit of oil out, I just lifted up that float and then put one of those blue shop towels in there and soaked it right up. So we're ready to go. Now this has a key on one end, so it can only go in one way, and it actually says top up here, so that's it. And then this gets pushed in. There's a spring in here as you tighten this cover, so I'm going to get that all set up. And the final step is to use a torque wrench. Now these are supposed to be torqued at 9.5 Newton meters. And so anyway, you can look that up online and translate that to inch pounds, and that's what I did. So just use a torque wrench and do an alternating kind of pattern. So here to here, here to here, and then you're all done. Alright, well, time to put some oil in this bad boy. Now after filling this, you turn on the pump and you run it for 5 seconds or so, so oil circulates through the filter, and then turn it off and refill it again until you get to the correct level here. But I wanted to show you, yes indeed, there is a color difference between the old oil and the new oil, but you know, that's 3.5-year-old oil, so to be expected, I guess. Anyway, nice and clear, and so that's about it. I hope you enjoyed that video. For the Epicenter.com, Epicenter Bryan here, signing out.